Good morning. I'm not sure if you heard that countdown there from Rose. She's obviously very excited about this morning. This is, can you believe it? It's our penultimate Maths with Miss live in London. Penultimate means it's the last but one before we break up for the summer holidays. However, as I mentioned yesterday, let me get my board. We are going to carry on. We are going to continue. We're going to be doing them throughout the summer. And there we go. There's my new board, my summer specials. They run on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Similar format, a few more challenging questions. Aimed largely at Key Stage 3, but definitely with some accessible stuff for Key Stage 2 kids. So if you're, say, age 8 to 10. And also Key Stage 4, some really good practice questions. So if you're 14, 15, you know, getting ready to go into year 11, we've still got something for you as well. Okay. I'm really excited about those. In fact, I'm going to try and do most of them live. They won't all be live because of other commitments I've got. So I've been recording a couple to get ready for next week. And yeah, I'm really excited about the format. I hope you enjoy it. But the focus right now is today. So 2 pens, different colour for marking, a ruler, not for whacking naughty children on the heads with, for setting out our work neatly, drawing our margins and making it all nice and neat. Okay, what else do we need? We don't need a calculator. Don't need one of those. Never need one of those. Because we have our gigantic, fantastic, I need to find some more adjectives to describe our absolutely, infinitely amazing brain. Okay, so we're using that today. 10 o'clock, half an hour every day, and then 3 times a week during the summer holidays. And it will make such a massive, massive difference when it comes to finally getting back to school in September. I cannot wait. All right, so we have got to finish off our Beat the Clock boards before we go into the summer specials. So we're going to do a double bubble. We're going to find extra numbers. We're going to try and cover off 20 of our numbers today. So more on that later. What do we need to do first? Let's have a look at yesterday's review question. Okay, if you are looking at this video on catch up and you didn't do yesterday's lesson, can you just pause it and have a go at these questions now? For you guys who did it yesterday, let's go through the answers. Remember, we talked about the Fibonacci sequence yesterday. We talked about going to the beach and spirals. Look, there you go. There's my shell, my spiral, which is a perfect mathematical Fibonacci sequence. We don't think that when we're going to the beach that we're learning about maths, but maths is everywhere. Okay. So the next 2 numbers in our sequence, remember what we do with our Fibonacci sequence is we sum the 2 previous numbers. So 8 plus 13 gives us 21. 13 plus 21 gives us 34. 21 plus 34 gives us 55. And finally, 34 plus 55 gives us 89. Question 2, if A is 64, we want the cube root of A. What number multiplied by itself 3 times gives us 64? So that's 4. So the cube root of 64 is 4. And then we add on another 4. It gives us 8. 1/3 of 1/4 of 1/8 of 288. We looked at an example of this yesterday as well. The answer to that is 3. Now, last question. We did some work on angle rules. So for B is the same as A because corresponding angles are equal. We talked about creating that letter F shape. Remember, you must state what the angle rule is to get the full mark. For C, you've got 2 choices. Okay, at the moment, the only thing we've learned is that angles on a straight line sum to 180. So if I know that B is 144, I can subtract that from 180 to get 36 degrees. Now, some of you might have learned something called co-interior angles. And if you have, you would know that A plus C also sum to 180 degrees. Right. So that's our review questions done from yesterday. I think we need to get started on your questions for today. Let's go. Seconds to go. Part 2 coming up. Seconds left. And moving on to part 3. Maybe 30. 30 seconds to go. Right, your time is up. Whew, some challenging questions there. If you could grab a different colour pen for marking. Let's go through some of the answers. Oh, hold on. Rose needs a different colour. There we go. You've got a red one there coming right up. And no doubt someone is going to say, I need my pointy stick. Let's see if we can get my pointy stick. So, excuse me, question 1 is 15. Question 2 is 66. 3 is 24. 4 is 17. 5 is 22. 6 is 23. 7 is 48.8549. Who put that mean question in there? Yeah. Question 8 is 61.02. And our parent versus kids challenge. B is 46 degrees, but for the second mark, we need to state the angle rule. We're going to do this one on the board later. And the rule is the alternate angles are equal. We can make a Z with that parallel line shape. And yeah, I'll show you that on the board shortly. Okay, part 2. Okay, question 1 is 32. Question 2 is 60.11. Question 3 is 82. Question 4 is 91. Question 5 is 72. Question 6, we've got 2 choices, 70 over 100, or we can simplify it to 7 over 10. Question 7 is 78. This one is a tough question. This was actually the last question in last year's SATS papers, the year 6 SATS papers. Okay, so we've got 3,604 beads that we need for the bracelets. We have 3,570 beads that we need for the necklaces. That is a total of 7,174. That is a 3-mark special. Right, part 3. Question 1 is 59. Question 2 is 2.5. Question 3 is 44.4. Question 4 is 58. Question 5, another challenging question, is 68. Question 7 is 70. Question 8 is no. 7 is not a factor of 24. And, now this sequence, it's not a Fibonacci sequence. The next 2 numbers are in the sequence are 21 and 28. It is called a triangular sequence. If you look at the numbers across the bottom, Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Okay, so you are adding 2, adding 3, adding 4, adding 5. Again, we will have a quick look at that on the board if there is time. All right, so whilst you are totaling up your scores and popping them in the chat for me, I'm just going to do a few shout outs quickly. Right, I've got quite a long list. Let's get started. So I have Isla, aged 11. Welcome, Isla. Chloe, aged 8. Maria, aged 8. Louisa, aged 9. Roisin, aged 9. Ishani, aged 10. Ibrahim, aged 14. Matada, aged 11. Oscar, aged 9. Josie, aged 13. Izzy, aged 15. Adam, aged 8. Holly and Billy. Amy Solaria and Ella May. Welcome to all of you. If I've missed anyone, and no doubt I have because I can see the chat, I will try and catch up with you later, if not tomorrow. Right, for the last but one time, remember that word? Penultimate. The last but one time on the Beat the Clock board, before we move on to our summer challenges, let's have a look at what numbers we can cross off. Can we see that? Yeah, excellent.
I'm back.
Okay, so Rose is going to read out all the numbers for us.
15.
Okay, the answer to question 1 on part 1 was 15.
66.
66 was the answer to question 2.
24.
Oh, we've done 24. Keep going.
Have you done 17?
17. Fantastic.
What about 22?
Yeah, excellent. 22.
23. Have you done 23?
Right. Got it.
Have you got 48.8549?
Oh, yeah, I got 49. What's the next one?
Have you got 61.02?
Yeah, got 61.
No, I want to know if you've got 61.02.
Yeah.
What about 46?
And 46. Fantastic.
You haven't got 46,
okay.
Have you? Boom.
Okay.
32. Have you got 32?
Got 32 now.
Have you got 60?
Yes, now I have.
Yay.
Keep going.
Have you got 82?
Yes. Have
you
now.
got 91?
Okay. Wow. Loads covered up. Keep going.
72?
72. Yeah.
Have you
Hope you're
got
keeping up.
70 or 7?
70.
And 7.
Oh, and 7 as well. Wow. Okay. Brilliant.
78.
78. Gosh, I'm going to run out of stickers at this rate.
3,604.
Yeah, I haven't got that one.
3,570
yeah, I haven't got that one.
and 7,100.
I haven't got that one either. Move on.
59.
Yeah, got it.
2.5. We've got 2 and we've got 3. So
Go on.
44.4.
Yeah, we've got 44 and 45.
50.
58.
68.
68.
70.
Gone.
No. 28 and 21.
There we go. Brilliant. Is that everything? Have we got another board?
Nope.
Is that all of them?
Yeah,
okay.
That's all of them.
Right. Wow. I know. I think we're a bit tired after doing all that. So we're going to try and finish this board off tomorrow. Okay. Let's hope so. Right. Let's do some learning. Here comes my board. Right, what do we need to go through? Have you put your scores in? Oh, wow. So we've got 15 out of 20, 30 out of 20, 12 out of 30 from my own daughter. We might have to work on that. Mr. Newbie Pants has asked if we're going to do lessons in the summer holidays. Yes, we're going to do 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 o'clock in the morning. M. Allen has got 19 out of 30. Anyone else? All right. Mr. Newbie Pants is very impatient because he's asked me the same question 6 times, but now I've answered it, so hopefully he won't ask me again. All right. So let's do some work on the board. We are going to start with division. Now, this is quite an easy question, but I just want to show you a little. Remember, we talked about tricks and techniques. We want to make maths as easy as possible. So if we just take a very quick look at part 1, question 3, 9 times 8 divided by 3. That is not a difficult sum to do, but we can make it easier. Imagine if these numbers were much bigger. If we write it as a fraction, and then hopefully you can see I've got 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. I end up with 3 multiplied by 8, which is 24. Now, you could, of course, done 9 eighths is 72, 72 divided by 3, and you'd have still got the same answer. But we want to keep things as simple as possible. Okay, so that was the first quick one. Let's go on to the next one, which was looking at those angle rules. This will be new for some of you, and it will be recapping work for others. Okay, so a little title of angle rules. We've done a few. We're going to do one more today. Here are my parallel lines. Now, I don't think I mentioned this. Now, they look parallel, but I know that they're parallel because I put that little arrow there, and I don't think I mentioned that before. All right, now, here is my transversal, the diagonal line that goes through the two parallel lines. And we are given that A equals 46 degrees. So if A is 46, then B is also 46, but we want to look at Y. We need to state our angle rule, and our angle rule is that alternate angles are equal. Let's just explore that for a moment. So, alternate angles are equal. I am not sure if my children have been playing around with my geostrips, and I'm not sure. Oh, here's another one that Rose has put on the floor. No, that's not the right one either. We might have to make do without my geostrips today. They've obviously been an activity. Look, Rose, she's got this one. That's no good either. Okay, never mind. So we're gonna look here. We're gonna draw it on. Oh, Rose has found it. No, not that one. Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't worry. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a Z. And sometimes you will hear it.
Found it.
Oh, she's found it. Sometimes you will hear it being called the Z rule, but to get the mark in a test, you have to use the word alternate. Now, I used to work with a fabulous teacher who has now left my school, and the way she used to teach it to her kids is you weren't allowed to say alternate. Miss Dow, hello, if you're listening. She made you call it Zolternate, so that you would remember Zolternate is Z, and angle A and angle B are the same. All right, so this is what I wanted to demonstrate. Rose has kindly found it for me lying on the floor. Although it does mean that she'd been playing with it. Right, so there we go. So it doesn't matter if it goes that way or if it goes that way.
They're always the same.
Should we do it that way? So, whoa. Honestly, not feeling very prepared today. There you go. So it matches what's on the board. Okay, so if you keep your two red lines completely parallel, which is quite tricky to do, hopefully you can see just by visualizing it that as A gets smaller, B gets smaller by exactly the same amount, and as A gets bigger, then obviously B gets bigger by the same amount as well. So there you go. Alternate angles are equal. And maybe at the end, Rose has got a magic trick to show you apparently at the end, if there's time. Right, let's move on. I am really not very organised, am I, with people playing with my geostrips. Let us move on. So we are going to look at a worded question. Right. So this was the bracelet. Okay, the bracelet. So what you want to do with a worded question is try and break it down. All right, I might actually need to bring up the question myself. So bear with me while I find the right question. So this was the last question in part 2. Okay, now bracelets have 53 beads. And Layla wants to make 68. All right, so beads per bracelet, 53 beads per bracelet, 68 bracelets. She also wants to make some necklaces. She wants to make, these contain 105 beads. And she is going to make 34 necklaces.
Can you use the Chinese method?
No, not at the moment. I haven't got time, babe. All right, so 50. Rose was just asking me if I could use the Chinese method. I will demonstrate that one day. It's also called the lattice method. It's a diagonal way of multiplying, which is really nice. I haven't got time, I'm afraid, today. Okay. But I'll do it in one of the summer specials. Possibly tomorrow, more likely in the summer specials. So we've got 53 multiplied by 68. 53. Right, can we still see that all the way over here? Let's move the board over. 53 multiplied by 68, which gives us our 3,604. And then our 105 multiplied by 34 gives us 3,570. If I add those together, I get 7,174. Okay, so these worded questions are quite challenging, but if you break them down, then it helps. How much time have we got? I've got 2 more to go through. I reckon if we're quick,
I can show my magic trick at the end as well.
Rose might be able to show her magic trick at the end. We'll see. Right, so just a quick one again. Just using those tricks, making our life easy. Right, so this was part 3, question 3, and I just called this title, Make Life Easy, because I showed this question to my son last night. And his first response was, I can't do that in my head. Whoa. And he definitely could. He just needed to think about it. So 4.44. And then we multiplied by 5. And then we multiplied by 2. So initially he thought, I can't do that. That's too hard. And then he thought about it and he thought, 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. So 4.44 multiplied by 10. Much easier calculation. Always pause, take a look, see how you can make your work as easy as possible. Right, I said we'd do one more.
And then my magic.
And then apparently a magic trick. Apparently. I've got some really good magic tricks I could show you if we've got time. Again, that might be something we save for the summer. Okay, triangular numbers. Whoops. So, right, so I had listed the triangular numbers for you. Is that right? And then, 21 was one you had to guess, or work out rather. And 28. Okay, and what I mentioned to you just briefly is we are adding 2. Then we're adding 3. We're adding 4. And so on. Okay, and the reason why they're called triangular numbers is because they form a triangle. Probably a little bit of an obvious thing to say. All right, so we start with, a bit strange, but we start with a triangle of 1. Let's do it down here so we've got a bit more room. Okay, a triangle of 1. We're then going to have a triangle of 3. Let's change colour so it's a bit easier to see. Now we want a triangle of 6. Does that make sense? And then we want a triangle of 10. I think I'll stop there, otherwise we are going to run out of time. So 4, 3, 2, and 1, and so on. So can you just see we're building, building, building. I'll just draw a little triangle around each one to make it super clear.
What about number 1?
You want a triangle around number 1? There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So before we go on to our review exercise, apparently, now this is unscripted. It could go horribly wrong. Rose apparently is going to demonstrate something to you. Hold on. There we go.
You can see this thing that looks like an hourglass, nothing behind me, and if I shake it, it turns into a rectangle.
Right. Now you can't do this. Well, I suppose you could do a. There we go. All right, Scoop, go, go, go.
Bye.
Right. Your review questions are coming up. Right, I will leave you to pause that so you can write the review questions down. Just a reminder that although tomorrow is our last normal lesson of Maths with Miss Live in London, I have my fantastic summer specials coming up. I'm really excited about them. I've already started recording a couple of them that I can't do live, but most of them will be live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 o'clock. Please make sure, if you haven't already, you've subscribed, you've shared, and you've liked, and all that social media stuff that you need to do. And anyway, I will see you tomorrow first, and then hopefully next week's for some of the summer specials. Thank you.
Bye.